Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is July the 13th, Tuesday, July the 13th, 2021. Y'all, it is That's Happening Tuesday. Come on in the room, people. Let me know you are here. I see you, Kenya Noel. Good morning, girlfriend. How are you? How are you on this Tuesday morning here in Columbus, Ohio? How about that? I guess you're Gahanna though, but hey, I see y'all coming up in here. Good morning, Felicia Williams. Good morning, Adrian. Good morning, Josh. What's happening, brother? Good morning to my biological sister, Patricia Lyles. Good morning, Latrice Jones. Good morning, Regina. Good morning, Lori. Good morning to all of you. How are you on this Tuesday morning? Yep, it is Diane Ladybug's birthday, so happy birthday to Ladybug. Good morning, Kenny Stanley. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. And happy birthday to Marion Jackson. Hello, somebody. Good morning, Deborah Johnson. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Diane Ladybug. What age is this girl? Just joking. You don't have to tell us. I hope you woke up with a fabulous just praise on your lips, getting excited about today. Marion Jackson, to you as well, sister. Happy birthday to the two of you. Any other birthdays in here besides Diane Ladybugs and Marion Jackson today? Please put them in a thread so that we can celebrate you. This is a day of celebration. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. I like that, Kenya. It's the 21st birthday. Yep, y'all throwing those happy birthdays to Diane Ladybug and also to Marion Jackson today. It's their birthday. It's their birthday. It's their birthday. Yes, it is. It's their birthday. And they are excited, and we are excited to celebrate them on News in Motion. Before I forget, if you are a Patreon member, don't forget to check your alerts because the day is the day that you get a special workshop. So make sure you check your alerts if you are a Patreon member. If you are a News in Motion Patreon member, check your alerts. Today is the day that there's a special workshop for you. So if you see that, we have our podcaster coming back who's going to give you a private session, and it's going to be live. I've already saw everything that she put together. Gina rocks it out. Good morning to my biological brother, Louis Pryor III. Good morning, Kim Edmondson. Good morning, Kelly Stanley. What's up, girlfriend? All right, y'all. So again, if you are a News in Motion member on Patreon, if you are a News in Motion member on Patreon, today is the day. So check your alerts. Check your alerts. Check your alerts. Today is the day at 12 noon Eastern time. So I didn't want to miss that. All right, y'all. I'm just so excited about today. I woke up like this. I need to really get with Beyonce and see if she would help me out. I woke up like this. So, y'all, we have the birthday shout outs. As you're coming on, continue to shout out happy birthday to Diane Ladybug and happy birthday to Marion Jackson. Make sure you shout them out. Yeah, girlfriend Lori, Patreon is extra. It's extra. So it's going to be on and popping. We got a handout and everything. So let me just talk about Patreon just for a moment. Good morning, Riakas. Good morning. Yeah, we're talking $5 a month. We're talking $5 a month. So you're talking $60 for a whole year, $5 a month. But there's things that you get on Patreon. There's things that you get on Patreon. For example, Gina, who was here from Jinx podcast, she's the audio engineer. She's coming back today for those on Patreon. We're doing a Zoom meeting. We got questions that came in. She put together a handout. She's going to be doing a full presentation that's taking people A to Z on with their podcast. So you want to check that out. Not only that, I don't even like this part, so I want to get to it before I get to the introduction, but I got to, do what the girls and Howard and Carl said. So let me just do this. The other thing is, if you are thinking about becoming a Patreon member, if you are thinking about it, you want to do it by August the 31st. Because on September the 1st, if you have not been grandfathered in with the $5 a month, that fee is going to change. So when you go to sign up on September the 1st, it's not going to say $5. It's not going to say $5. So those of you who are already in there, they'll stay at the $5 level. And there's some who gave more, and that's fine. But listen, it's getting ready to change. So you have until August the 31st to make that decision. Because on September the 1st, good morning, Pastor Alex. On September the 1st, the Patreon tiers are going to change. But if you're in now, if you're in before August the 31st, your $5 will always be $5, not unless you choose to give a higher amount. And some of you have done that, and I say thank you. But if you're thinking, oh, do I want to become a Patreon member? Now is the time, because on August the 31st, you have been born. On August the 31st, that tier will go away. It will only remain for those who are already in it. But that $5 tier, come September the 1st, will be no more. It will be no more. So call it your introductory. If y'all remember, I told y'all this back in April that those numbers were going to, or May, that those numbers were going to change. And they are. So if you want to become a Patreon member at the $5 level, you have from now until August the 31st to do so. On September the 1st, that tier will go away. But those of you who are already in that tier, you will remain in that tier. So Latrice says, is there one for Patreon? Come to Patreon while you have time. I got to put that up on the screen, Latrice. Yep. Is there one? Is there one? Y'all know y'all used to that in church. Is there one? Is there one? You have until August the 31st. I haven't gotten to the intro yet. You have until August the 31st. I'm trying to see if I can find it. There is the site to sign up. After August 31st, so come September the 1st, the $5 tier is gone, except for those who are already in it. So you want to think about that. So again, everybody on Patreon already, Gina was giving y'all's private workshop today. Make sure you go check your alerts so you can get all the information and the Zoom information so that you can sign on. All right, y'all. All right, let's get this party started. Y'all, we have a lot of news today, so let's get into it. Here's your quote. When people are intimidated about having their own opinions, oppression is at hand. That's former president, the 39th president of the United States of America, Jimmy Carter. That's who that is. Y'all, news is definitely in motion today. Y'all, Cuban government crackdown on all widespread anti-government protests. Cuban president, now get this, accuses the U.S. of instigating the unrest. What? Why you blaming us? But okay. Y'all, Western wildfires, 153,000 acres burning as its 7th day today. So pray for everyone in the Western region. Y'all, Cedric the Entertainer tapped to host the 2021 Emmy Awards. Isn't that going to be hilarious? Which returns with a limited in-person audience after the 2020 ceremony was mostly virtual. Emmy nominations will be revealed today at 11:30 Eastern time. Y'all, Bell, former star of Nickelodeon's Drake and Josh, has been sentenced to 2 years probation on child endangerment charges. See, even on child-friendly television, you don't know what's happening. Y'all, Amazon receives regulatory approval, get this, y'all, for radar-based sensors that monitors users' sleeping habits by detecting motion throughout the night. I don't know if I need you up in my house like that. So yeah, Amazon receives regulatory approval for radar sensors. Y'all, somebody's watching you. Some big brothers, big sisters watching. Y'all, public filing show. This is so funny. Public filing show that Trump organization removed CFO Alan Weisselberg as an officer from some of its subsidiaries following indictment of alleged tax evasion scheme. Come on, really? You think that's going to make a difference for you, Buttercup? It's not. You going away, Buttercup. You going away. You going away. You going away. All right, y'all. It's called Flipkart, the Amazon of India. Y'all, they raised 3.6 billion. That's what a B at a 37 billion. That's what a B valuation. Now, this is my trouble with Flipkart in India. They still need ventilators, oxygen. They still need hospital beds. They still need coronavirus vaccines. But yet, you're going to give it Amazon India at a 37 billion valuation. Something ain't right there. Y'all, officials has identified Christian Emmanuel Sanson, a Florida-based doctor. Get this, y'all. As one of the alleged masterminds behind the assassination of the Haitian president. Y'all, this doctor thought he was going to be then installed as president. Now, y'all, he's a U.S. doctor, and he put this in motion. Yeah. Y'all, also in Florida, the peninsula is grappling with the red tide. You be careful out there, Pastor Alex. An estimate 110 tons of dead sea life has been collected near the St. Petersburg area from toxic algae bloom. And y'all, get this. Maybe Prince Williams is like, well, my brother's children are going to be brown, so I better start talking about black and brown people in a good light. Yep, y'all, Prince Williams condemns the racist abuse of England's black footballers, which there was some really horrific things on social media. And I'm thinking, okay, y'all, we protest here in the U.S., Black and brown people are black and brown people, no matter where they are. We need to be protesting that language and that disgust all around the country. So Prince Williams has taken a stand. He said he's not having it. Y'all won't believe what's happening in Texas. No, you won't. Y'all, Texas, the Democratic lawmakers have left the city. They're like, no, we're not voting on this bill. So they've left the city. Y'all, they packed up. Texas Democrats fled the state on Monday in a last-ditch effort to prevent the passage of a restrictive new voting law by Republican-controlled legislators heading to Washington to draw national attention to their cause. They're like, we're going to go out there and protest with the people. Black power, brown power. For the People Act. Let's get this done. They're like, we ain't doing that. We up out of here. So they left. Y'all, the group left Austin around mid-afternoon yesterday on a pair of chartered flights. They paid for chartered flights. Come pick us up, pick up our bags. They told their families, we don't know when we're coming back, but we getting out of here. It's kind of like a filibuster, y'all, because if they're not there to vote, they don't have a quorum. So they don't have that. They can't vote. So this kind of like a filibuster, like we ain't doing this. That ain't about to happen up in here. They said they don't know when they coming back. Yep, I see you, Josh. Josh lives in Texas. Josh said, yeah, Pat, those planes were packed. Josh said, yeah, they did. It's crazy out here right now in Texas. They packed their bags and said, deuces, we out. They got up out of there. I'm going to show y'all this picture. I think I have it. The team is telling me I have this picture. Here it is. Boom. They got their laptops, their bags. Y'all see the pilot back there? They loading up in the car. They're like, we out. Peace. We out of here, y'all. We out of here. They got out of town. Y'all, they said a hasty arranged departure added a climatic element to the partisan. They're just wrangling. They're at war with each other. And the Democrats who fled to neighboring states in the past to try to block legislation, including in 2003, when they traveled to New Mexico and to Oklahoma. They're like, we ain't here. You can't vote. So now the governor is trying to get the Republicans to change the law, but because of the way the laws are written right now, they can't change the law without to have a majority or the number of people in attendance to do the law. They said they don't know when they're coming back. They just done left. I was like, man, it must be nice to move around like that, but you got to do what you got to do. Let me see what some of y'all are saying. I know y'all wasn't here tripping. Let's see, Yvonne saying, I'll be back when I get back. That's pretty much what they said. Kim said, New Age protesters. There you go. I see you, Judy. Good morning. Latrice says, that's what folks are doing now. They saying deuces. We're out of here. Josh is saying, y'all, Josh is in Texas, so we might have to have him on here when they talk about it. He said it's like the Bloods and the Crips with the Republicans and Democrats. Y'all, they are out. Yeah, fly buster. I love that. I love that. Fly a buster. They like, we ain't participating. We not playing. We not playing with y'all today. Y'all, they got up out of there by noon. All right, y'all. The coronavirus in motion. I got a whole lot to unpack. So just hold on to something because it's coming for you. Y'all, Native Americans have the highest vaccination rate in the U.S. And that's the Hill reporting. Let me see what Kenny Stanley just said. Kenny Stanley said, why won't the Democrats in the Senate grow it back? Well, there's that. That's the $1 million question. Now, Adrian, you're gonna have to put that hashtag Flyabuster out there and put your name. Make sure you get the credit for that. With close to 40% of their population fully vaccinated, Native Americans have the highest vaccination rate in the U.S., according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which is tracking vaccination rates among various communities. Now, y'all, Asian Americans follow closely behind with 35% of the population fully vaccinated, followed by white Americans. Now, Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders and Hispanic and Black Americans lag behind with less than 1/3 of their population fully vaccinated. Now, y'all, now we got this warning with Johnson & Johnson vaccine. New York Times is the first to report that. The Food and Drug Administration warned on Monday that Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine can lead to an increased risk of a rare neurological condition known as, and I really cannot pronounce this, I believe it's Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is another setback for the vaccine. Y'all, they have had trouble from day one with their vaccine. Day one. It's already trending, Adrian. Girl, go ahead and act like we talked about this on News and More. You ain't know it's trending, but that's what they like. We out of here. We out of here. Y'all, now the federal officials have identified 100 suspected cases of that. So y'all, Johnson & Johnson, they never really got going. There was always something happening. Now, y'all, in Sydney, Australia, which has been on lockdown again since June the 26th, has started to see a spike in cases. Now, they were supposed to be off their lockdown this coming Friday, but the prime minister there said, nope, I'm going to need y'all to stay at home. And then they go on to say the virus won't spread if people just stay home. That's about it. Just stay home. Stay your rear at home. That's what they're saying. Now, y'all, the Dutch prime minister apologized for error of judgment when he lifted some pandemic restrictions 3 weeks ago. Now, the country has reinstituted all of their restrictions, including eating and drinking establishments. Now, y'all know Tokyo entered a state of emergency. Do y'all know there's a U.S. swimmer who refuses to get the vaccine? But they have issued a state of emergency, and they're already starting to calculate cases now that people are starting to come in town. So, y'all, there's a lot going on there. Let me see what our scientist says. Speed to the market carries risk. Yep, there you go. There you go. Mary is like sounding the alarm. Y'all know this is Mary's narrative. If people would only strengthen their immune system. So you have that. Now, y'all, facing rising cases last week in Israel will become the first country in the world to administer a COVID-19 booster shot. That will begin this week. Medical workers in Thailand who have already been given 2 doses of the China Sinovac vaccine will also be given shots of AstraZeneca vaccine as a booster. That will be starting the next couple of weeks. Now, in the U.S., they're saying we ain't recommending a booster right now. I don't know why they're not. And they're saying because fully vaccinated people won't have a serious illness. Listen, I don't want no illness. Kenya is saying, Mary Jenkins, that goes back to exercise and nutrition. So y'all, there y'all go. Kenya, our scientist, is telling us to eat right, and to exercise. We need to do that. Yeah, we need to just go ahead and give to that. Now, Britain says it will continue its plan to drop nearly all COVID-19 restrictions next week. But they warn its citizens to keep wearing their mask. Hello, somebody. They said because of the World Health Organization says you should. I don't know why the U.S. is tripping. I don't know. Maybe they scared of the people with the rifles and the machine guns who said they're just not going to follow the rules. But then when we have Sha'Carri Richardson who wants to run in the Olympics, those same people say rules are rules. Make up your mind. If rules are rules, okay, I'll leave that alone. Y'all, in the U.S., which is more or less fully reopened for business, cases rose. Y'all ready for this number? 47% last week. Yep, the biggest increase since April 2020, not 2021, but April 2020. That's how many cases. Yeah, 47%. It rose 47%, the biggest increase since April 2020. Experts warn that the number of deaths could soon rise in unvaccinated areas of the country. But for now, the deaths are down at 27% nationwide from 2 weeks ago. So here we go. Here we go. Now, y'all, we have food insecurity. Because of this pandemic, there's this more widening of those who are going hungry, the food insecure. The Guardian is reporting that the number of people who went hungry last year rose to include almost a third of the global population. And this is a new United Nations report. Yeah. That's a lot. I want y'all to all take that in. I want you to take that in because this is what's happening with the coronavirus. Now, this is not to scare you. This is not to make you think, oh no, what are we going to do? Don't go to the store getting toilet paper. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You're right, Denise. Let me show y'all what Denise said here. We're not doing that. We're not running to the store to get toilet paper. We're not doing that. But we're going to do what's right. I still wear a mask. Let me tell you, I told y'all yesterday I was in North Carolina this weekend. Drove 8 hours, enjoyed our friend, drove 8 hours back home. We were there from Friday night. We left Sunday morning, my husband and I. Y'all, everybody had on masks. I was like, why is everybody? I said, is there a mask? They was like, no. But people were still wearing them. A lot of people look like me. But that's because in the different demographics, the different areas. And I said, my gosh, y'all, everybody still had on masks. And I was like, I love this. I had my mask on. When we got out the car, we put our mask on. We were walking down the street at one point. I had taken my mask off and just put it on my wrist. We entered the store, I put it back on. We entered the restaurant, I put it back on. Everybody had on masks in North Carolina without a mask mandate. I said, they care. They care about people. So, yeah, we have to play. We have to do our part. Whatever that looks like for you, we have to do our part. We have to do our part. All right, y'all, $38,000 for children with cancer by cutting his fro. Yep, the Root is reporting 17-year-old Kennerin Moses of Huntsville, Alabama, knew upon entering the military that he would have to cut his 19-inch fro that he had grown for the last 6 years. But instead of trimming his signature hairstyle, Moses decided to donate his hair to children who lost theirs because of cancer. And that is KSNB4 reports. Now, y'all, again, he knew of a friend in the 8th grade who had cancer. So he said, I'm going to give back. I'm going to give to the community. So there you are. Kenya says they are 100% back in the office. And if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. How do y'all know who's vaccinated and who's not? They won't even let us show stuff. Latrice says, when we went to school, only certain people were wearing masks. Yeah, we got to do our part. That's right, Pastor Annette. We got to do our part. Everybody got to write. You got to write your own thing. All right, y'all. The Black Widow, Marvel's Black Widow, scored $80 million at the box offices this week, the best opening for a movie since the pandemic began. Yep, y'all, that's what's happening there with Black Widow. I hear it's the bomb movie. We were going to stream it yesterday at home, and we went to Prime Video, and it said $30. I was like, not today. We ain't doing that today. That ain't happening up in here. So, did y'all know that an unopened copy of Super Mario 64 sold for at an auction 1.56 million. That happened. That happened. Y'all, there's so much we can do here. But I got a message for y'all today that God told me to share with you all. And y'all, I hope I can stay seated when I give y'all the inspirational message today. But before I do that, I have two more things. First, here's your business tip for this week. That's your business tip. That's your business tip. Hopefully, if you did not catch that, go back through that again and start taking notes. For those of you who are watching the replay, welcome. And we ask that you also look at those different videos and start building what it is that you choose to build. And for those of you who are looking to receive a shout out on News in Motion, here's this information. So there's that, and that's going to be tying into our inspirational message this morning. Before I go there, for the win, I want to do something a little bit different today for the win. For the win, I want you to determine who that person is in your life that you want to give the win. But you just can't make it up in your mind. I do want you to post their names in the thread, but I also want you to contact that person and tell them why you considered them for the win. Give them a reason, uplift them, encourage them, propel them into their next by giving them words of encouragement to let them know that you support them 100%. So go ahead and fill the thread right here with the person, the name you will shout out for the win. I want you to do that. So take your time to do that. Now, y'all, the inspirational message. And if you know anybody who needs some encouragement, go ahead right now and share this video. Say, hey, there's a word that's getting ready to be put out there that comes from the Lord. Come on over here and check out these last 3, 4, 5 minutes of News in Motion and get that encouragement that you need. So whoever that is, if you're just watching the replay, I encourage you to get pen and paper because I believe this word is going to resonate with you and it's going to carry you not only through today, but throughout the rest of this year. This is a fresh word, and I believe it's coming from the Lord. I have read the book of Daniel many times. Many of us land on Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. And then, when it's set ablaze, y'all know the story. There ends up being a fourth person in there. That's God. That's the story we know. And that's a great story. And that's a story that got me through many situations. But y'all, there's something in chapter 2 that took me to another level this morning. And I want you to hear me. Thank you, Latrice, for putting your person for the win in there. Everybody, please write your person for the win in the chat. We want to fill this chat with people for the win because we all want to get to know who these people are. So listen, y'all, I want to talk about the inspirational message. I want to call this elevation. I want to call this inspirational message elevation. Good morning, Kim Neal. I want to call this inspirational message elevation. Again, if you know somebody who needs an encouraging word, a word that's going to get them through not only today, but through the rest of the year, you want to share this video. All right, y'all, Daniel chapter 2. Daniel, as we saw in chapter 1, he found favor with the chief official. He's the one that said, I ain't eating all that. Just let us have vegetables and water. Let us eat vegetables and drink water and we'll be good. And since he had favor with the chief official, they allowed him to do it. And 10 days later, they saw that they were great. They were great. Their mind was great. Their body was great. They were great. Then sometimes we end with that because we do our Daniel fast. But y'all, there's so much in Daniel chapter 2. I'm telling y'all, when you're done with News and Motion this morning, I'm going to need everybody to go read Daniel chapter 2. I want you to pray first, and then I want you to read it. And then I want you to write down what God speaks specifically to you when it comes to Daniel chapter 2. But let me keep going. Y'all, Daniel was wise. Now, the king was having dreams, and he wanted somebody to interpret the dream. So he called the enchanters. He called the astrologers. He said, y'all, what's my dream? Interpret my dream. And so the astrologer, he was kind of smart. He said, well, tell me your dream, and then I'll tell you what it says. And the king was like, no, we ain't doing that. I said to do this, and if you can't do this, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your parents, your grandparents, your children. I'm going to knock down your house and everything else. My interpretation, y'all. Just bear with me, but that is what he said in so many words. Okay. And so he asked, the king told him again, I need y'all to interpret my dream. Well, the astrologer came back with the same message. And he goes, you're just trying to buy time. And then he goes, okay. He tells the commander, kill all wise men. Just go kill them. Just go kill them. So the wise man went out there. The commander went out there to go get the wise men, which came up to Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Daniel, remember, y'all, he had favor. Daniel said, take me to the king. Now, come on, really? The king? You just going to tell somebody, take you to the king? Y'all, this is all in chapter 2. It blew my mind this morning. So the commander took him to the king. So Daniel says, I need some more time. He goes back and gets with his friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He said, hey, I need y'all to pray. He said, I need y'all to pray. Stop right there. See, we try to do things in our own strength. We can't do that. Whether it comes to our family, our businesses, whatever, we need to just say, can I get some few people? These were his friends to pray with me, because this is what's happening. The king is calling for all wise men to be killed. So they went, they asked him for mercy from God, from heaven. And during the night, the mystery was revealed to Daniel. Daniel gets back up. He tells the commander, take me to the king. Second time, take me to the king. So commander takes him to the king. So Daniel is wise. When Daniel gets to the king, I'm getting real excited, y'all. When Daniel gets to the king, he says, first of all, I can't interpret, no man can interpret your dream. We don't have that power. We don't have that. So just know from the beginning, this did not come from me. This came from God in heaven. You cannot be ashamed of the God you serve. He said, no, this came from God in heaven. This didn't come from me. This didn't come from me. This came from God in heaven. Pause right there. Thank you, John Gore, for putting that out there. I meant to tell everybody, Mike Nicholson started his new job yesterday with the YWCA as the creative director, and he is having a great time. He said the only difficulty yesterday was he didn't know how to open up the desk. Well, there you go. But he's still doing his hip hop fitness, so don't be alarmed by that. But thank you, John, for reminding me of that. Thank you. So let me get back to Daniel. So Daniel goes to the king, and Daniel says, now listen, no man can do that. No, nobody can do that. Nobody can do that. But the God in heaven. So he says, so here's your dream. So he gave him his dream. Y'all missing this. He gave him his dream. He told him all about his dream. He broke that thing down. And he says, let me get my word. Hold on, y'all. Don't go nowhere. Because I got to get this to y'all like it is. I hope I can read this small print. I needed my glasses this morning. He says to him, as you were lying there, O king, your mind turned to things to come, and the revealer of mystery showed you what was going to happen. As for me, this mystery has been revealed to me, not because I have greater wisdom, than others living here, but so that you, O king, may know the interpretation and that you may understand what went through your mind. So he starts talking about this big statue, talking about how amazing and how awesome this statue was. And he's broke it down. It had gold, it had silver, it had bronze, it had iron, and it had baked clay. Hello, somebody. Now, y'all, the feet of this statue was iron and baked clay. Don't forget that, y'all. It was iron and baked clay. The feet of the statue. The head was gold. The body was silver. The thighs were bronze, but the feet were iron and baked clay. Don't y'all lose. I'm about to lose my mind. Was iron and baked clay. So he gives them the dream first. And then he says, that's your dream. Now let me interpret. Jesus, oh my gosh. See, some of y'all want to go straight to the interpretation without having the understanding of the words before that. And then along with that, he says, this is Daniel, he says, you looked, O king, and there before you stood a large statue, an enormous, dazzling statue, awesome in appearance. Y'all stop right there. If you bring it into today, we got to become storytellers. Ha! That is our content that we give, how we present our information. He pulled the king in with his interpretation of the dream and the interpretation. Y'all are missing this. He was a bad storyteller. Y'all, we need to become, if we want to see our businesses, if we want to see our lives prosper, we have to start becoming the storytellers that are going to give a story to meet people where they are. Y'all, this blew my mind this morning. Hold on, I'm going to keep going. So he says, I'm going to interpret your dream. So he begins to interpret the dream. See, again, many of us want to just go, hey, G, hey, Gail, the Lord told me to tell you. Well, can you first tell me what the Lord told me so I can make sure that lines up with what was already shared with me? Hello, somebody. Stop just pulling stuff out the air to sound like you got it going on. Just tell me what God told you to tell me. But first, he's going to tell you to tell me what I've already asked him so that your word's going to line up with the word. This is so good to me right now. I'm getting excited all over again. But listen. Remember I told you that the feet were made of iron and clay. Now, let me keep reading. It says his legs were iron, his feet partially iron and partially baked clay. While you were watching, a rock was cut out, but not by human hands. It struck the stature at its feet of iron and clay and smashed them. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold were broken into pieces at the same time because became like chaff on a threshing floor in the summer. Y'all hear me? Y'all miss this? We try to shoot for the head. We try to mess with people's head. But in this right here, what God showed me and the interpretation that God showed me right here, you got to hit them at their feet. Hello, somebody. Because at the feet, the whole thing comes crumbling down. I think I just said something. I know I just said something. See, y'all, we aiming at the wrong places sometimes. No. That's not where it is. Because that's gold. That's silver. That's bronze. You got to hit them where it's baked clay, because baked clay is going to crumble. Hello, somebody. Come on, y'all. Y'all missing it. There's so much here. That's why I want you to read this for yourselves. I want y'all to read this for yourselves. So anyway, as he gets through all of that, he says, so really what you dreamt about is what's about to happen to you if you don't change some things up in here. King fell to his face, prostrate. He prayed. Then he elevated Daniel. Hello, somebody. He elevated Daniel because of what Daniel shared with him. Daniel never took credit for it. No, Daniel gave all credit to God because it was God who gave him the dream and the vision to go and meet with the king, the boldness and the confidence to meet with the king, to tell the king what was going on. I just said something right there too. See, some of us rush to do our businesses. We rush to do our conversations with our spouses. We rush to do our conversations with our children. We rush to do conversations that we have no business even opening up our mouths to have the conversation because we haven't spent time with God first and ask our friends to come and surround us in prayer so that we can make sure we're hearing from the Lord before we just go run and do. We wondering why we're failing at so much that we're failing at because we're not allowing time for it to simmer in the presence of God. We're not waiting for God to speak to us before we go run and do. I want all of us to just be still. Be still, be still, be still, be still, be still, and wait on the presence of the Lord to speak to us first before we go run and say something or run and do something. You're wondering why your business isn't taking off? It's not taking off because you haven't spent time with the Lord. You just got an idea and said, oh, it's in my head, I'm going to go do it. Well, see, you get shot at your feet. Somebody throws something at your feet and it's nothing but baked clay, and it comes crumbling down because you haven't waited for the Lord to say, that's not how I want you to do it. I want you to roll it out like this. Hello, somebody. Hello. But then Daniel got elevated. But here's the part I don't want you to miss. I don't want you to miss this part. Daniel got elevated, y'all. He got elevated. He was lavished with many gifts. He was lavished by the king with many gifts. But Daniel said, but hold up, king. Hello, somebody. He said, hold up, king. Hold up, king. Hold up, king. My friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, I'm going to need them to get elevation too. There it is, right there, y'all. Listen, 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 listen. When your friends are helping you, once you get elevated, you can't leave them because they were the ones that was praying with you through the thing. He said, no, king, I got 3 friends I'm going to need you to bless too. And he made them administrators. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I want y'all to go read Daniel. I need you to read Daniel chapter 2. I need you to pray first. I want you to read Daniel chapter 2. And then I want you to write down exactly what God speaks to you. Because I know without a doubt that God's going to give you a word that is going to blow your mind. Stay well. And remember, make some moves.